everybody, this is Taylor Bishop, and welcome to the chat room, Bull Trendsetters. And today I just wanted to introduce myself. Tonight I'd like to get the group going to go over possibly some stock alerts, some small cap stocks to be looking at. I will post my alerts up here tonight, and basically I'm going to explain what this group's about. Obviously it is to help people make money, also to come up with strategic plans, and to make profits. I have a chart up here. I'm going to go over this stock just as an example of what I'm talking about and what I've seen lately in the small cap stocks and the penny stocks. One thing that I have noticed is this group is not going to be like StockTwits or Yahoo Finance or these Facebook groups where people go up there and listen to somebody and throw their money at a particular stock. And getting arguments on the comment section on Webull app and StockTwits forum. The whole goal of this is not to become a bag holder of a specific stock or to be stuck with a specific stock because you just threw your money at it and chased. And basically I've noticed that with this market, there's a lot of price manipulation going on, and there's a lot of people claiming to say and groups that this particular stock went up because I predicted it a week ago and blah blah blah. Well, basically a lot of these people are sending out alerts, and they have built a group base up so big that people follow suit when they get these alerts. And the person that said they predicted the stock basically did not really predict anything. He just got enough buyers to move the price up, and then once other people log into their brokerage app like Webull, Robinhood, Thinkorswim, they then follow suit when they see this penny stock or small cap stock is starting to rise. And basically maybe a decent portion of people in that group catch on to the alert early enough, and they do make profits, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the person that claimed that they had these stock alerts and they predicted that these stocks would go up, they didn't predict anything. They got enough people to follow suit to move the volume, the buy volume up high enough to move the price up incredibly easy. And then other people that saw the price movement then followed suit, and unfortunately some people follow suit too late and then lose a lot of money once the stock gets dumped, or the shorts come in and just pound it away for the rest of the day. But basically these people in these Facebook groups and I'm not condemning them. They're making profits, and if a lot of people knew this, they'd also make a lot of profits if they did it the smart and correct way. And I'm going to show you an example of this, and there are other stocks that I've seen recently that had very similar examples to this particular stock that I have up on the screen. This is SDPI, Superior Drilling, and they're based out of Utah. The company really hasn't had any good news at all lately, and there was no reason for the stock to move last week, especially during Friday. There was no good news. They didn't really have any good earnings or anything like that. There was no earnings report. There's nothing for the stock to move. And then someone, I saw in I saw a couple people claim that they knew the stock was going to move and that people should join their group because they were able to predict that this stock was going to move. They didn't predict anything. Once again, they got enough people to buy into the stock. And basically, in this group, we are going to come up, I think the smart way to trade stocks is to basically do something similar, but in a more strategic way, and to advise people in your group, if you're going to have a group like that, and in the chat room, that this stock is probably going to tank at any moment. So you should always, in my opinion, take profits. Not, if the stock raises a penny, don't take profits, right away. But you should take profits when you see indicators that the stock looks like it's going to tumble. And if you can analyze charts, analyzing charts, in my opinion, does not really, you can't really predict a stock at all. I mean, you can predict off of news, good news, and other things that a stock might go up. But I've seen even recently where not several, but some small cap stocks got great news and they didn't move up at all. Or they moved up a little bit and it trapped people, and then they were stuck with the stock, and they are now holding that stock, hoping that it goes back up. You got to remember there's a lot of hedge funds that own sometimes up to 7% of the shares of the company, and they have a lot of money, so they can do pretty much anything they want with the price manipulation and movement on a lot of things. But basically, so this stock, SDPI, once again, it had no good news, and I'm using this as an example to explain how you can strategically make money in a legal manner without worrying that you're going to lose money and once again chasing the stock. Everybody chases the stock. Yes, there are chart indicators where you can confirm that a stock's going up, but there's also I saw there's a very experienced, I'm not going to say his name, trader that I follow from time to time that lost $6,000. He's been doing this for years. The other day, he thought there was good confirmation to get into the stock, and then it tumbled within 2 seconds. The shorts and the dump came out of nowhere. So it's pretty hard, especially right now. I would say it's a little harder to confirm if a stock is, going to continue on a trend, or if there really is clean confirmation. What I mean by clean confirmation is that you can confirm without, there were several times where I thought there was a clean confirmation and the stock got dumped on and had to cut losses. So basically, here's the chart of SDPI, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. There's several other stocks that I have followed last week, and basically you see the same thing. This guy, a group or some guy claims that he predicted that the stock was going to go up. Of course he did. He had a group of people. They came up with a plan, and I don't even think they come up with a plan. This group my goal is to come up with a plan. I think he just alerts people and they follow, and then he claims he predicted that the stock was going to go up 100% even though it had no news and the company sucks. And they just kind of follow his suit. But basically, this is SDPI. It really had, it hasn't had a lot of volume lately until last week. It had really nothing going for it in terms of a reason for it to move, but it did on April 8th, on Thursday. It got a little attention here right before 4 o'clock, around 3:30, it looks like 3:36, and it got a little volume there. It was at 29 cents, and then it went up to 35 cents, which, for that, it's pretty good. Then it went right back down to, I'd say, and around 29.30 cents, and then right before closing, this is a classic. I wouldn't say trap, but a way to draw people into buying the stock. There's not much volume, and it started to right before closing, before the market closed, to get a little volume. There would be the confirmation right there, and it went up to 64 cents on 4/8. 4/8 the day before 4/9, which I'm going to show you where the stock blasted off again. So there's not much volume, went up to 64, then there's kind of, wouldn't say dump, but someone definitely dumped it off, obviously. Went back down to 49, well, even down to 46 cents. It kind of traded, up and down, started to go down, started to go down, started to go down, and they were right back to, and just as easy as it is to move prices during pre-market and after hours, it's very easy to lose money, or not lose money, to move the price down, especially on a low volume stock like this. So it kind of really didn't do nothing for the rest of the day. So for the rest of the day of 4/8, kind of, really kind of didn't do much. So during the pre-market, let me see if I can, trying to widen this out a little bit. So during the pre-market hours of 4/9, and it's only showing, I don't know why it's showing. So at 8:24, there's nothing going on, and I'm sure there's an alert sent out by a particular person that I've seen. So right before the market, this is a classic way to draw people in and really start to move the price up, which is not necessarily, I mean, it's good to make profits, but there's going to definitely be somebody that's going to lose money. So on 4/9, this is pre-market still at 9 o'clock, you start to see some buy volume. It starts to come in at 9:06, and then by 9:08, it's up to 45 cents. And before that, we're at around 41 cents. It's up to 46 cents, and then there comes the buy volume. There would be confirmation. It's up above the VWAP and the EMA. I like to use the SMA, but anyways, that would be confirmation right there. It goes up to 50 cents at 9:09. So people are seeing this, obviously, and I'm not saying everybody threw their money in, because they didn't at this time. And then by 9:10, obviously there started to be big buy a lot more volume. It's up to 60 cents, and right before the market closes, look how quick it went from 41 cents to 70, almost 70 cents within not even, let's say, 7 minutes. Not a lot of buy volume. No one's selling off because it's pre-market. Not saying people don't sell off during pre-market, but if you don't see any movement going on during the pre-market hours, and then there's a decent amount of buy-ups before the pre-market, that's going to move the stock tremendously. And that's what happened. Someone obviously dumped it off and took profits right there, or started to dump it off, but it didn't go down. The price it went back down a little bit. By 9:15, it's back down to 54 cents, and but right here at 9:30, so we're starting off at the market open around. We're at 55 cents. It was at 41 cents. So people see that, right? And there's some buying there, a little bit of selling there, not too much selling. There's a quick little run up right there, and so it's back up to 63. Here's a sell, but it doesn't go down too bad. It goes down to 60. Hovering around 60 cents. Not too much buying and selling, just a little bit here and there. And then you got a little, I guess you can call it not really a dip. It's not. But right here, there's a little bit of buy volume. It's back up to 73 cents. That attracts people in. And I'm not so sure that the same people that sold before pre-market didn't just come back in and do it again. It's very easy to move up. And it's still going up right here. And bam, it goes up to 82 cents. That's where it attracts people in. We're not even at 10 o'clock. Market opens at 9:30. The price movement before the pre-market hours and the price movement during the first 30 minutes of the market, there wasn't that much volume. So basically, the price was very, and it did attract a lot more volume than it normally does because people saw the price movement. And so they started to bring the volume over to the stock. It goes up to 82 cents. Let's say you started at 41 cents and you invest 2,000. I'm just using this as an example. I don't know how much you guys invest at a time, but let's say you invested $2,000, and I wouldn't have necessarily waited to 82 cents to take profit, but let's say you invested $2,000, you got in at 41 cents times, let's say you took profits at 72 cents. Well, you just made $1,500 within a very short period of time off of a $2,000 investment. Basically, if you invested $2,000, basically because the price movement was able, the pre-market price movement was able to attract enough buyers. But if you already know these things and there's an alert out and people know these things, you're not chasing the stock. You know it's going to go up. And I guarantee you this stock will do this again. Maybe not tomorrow, but there's a possibility that this will do this again this week. Is it a crappy stock in terms of a company? Yeah, it's a terrible company. Is there a chance that this will go up? Absolutely. And look where it ended. It ended at around 37 cents. So my resistance points for this stock would be 34 cents. If it goes below 34 cents, I'm not saying that it's necessarily not going to take a bounce back, but I would say that it would really lose the traction. Look at, I mean, it just dumped the rest of the day. There were a couple times where it tried to bounce back. It just couldn't do it because the volume had increased substantially. So it was a lot harder to move the price upward. And then there was it just really, I think some people held on to the stock and realized that it just wasn't going to move, and it just started to tumble down. But I would say 40 cents would be the first line if it breaks that, which I think it could easily, maybe not easily, we'll see. Depends on how much traction it gets. But I think it could bounce. It could do that again very easily, guys. And there are several other stocks that have done this lately. No news, no nothing. Guy sends out an alert, it gets enough attraction, and his followers, or their followers, basically follow suit, and they're able to make a profit without chasing a stock that has, let's say, 50 million in volume that is a lot harder to push up. So anyways, guys, this is the first video. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not telling you to invest in this stock or anything like that. I'm just telling you what the trends are from what I've seen, and how people are actually making money, and how some people are coming out saying, oh, I predicted that such and such will go up 100. No, they did not predict anything. Period.